Hey there, it's Elizabeth. Welcome back. I hope y'all are doing well. Today we're going to do another flip through. So, this flip through is going to be about our 2-week vacation that we took this summer as a family. We had a beautiful time. And a little background on our trip is that this was the high school senior trip for our son. Now, he graduated high school last year in 2016. And in fact, he'll graduate this December with his 2-year degree already. So, yeah, we're a little bit behind. But yeah, we couldn't take the trip last year because of health reasons. So, this year, we decided to bite the bullet. Whether we felt well, whatever our health was, we were going to give our son his much overdue senior trip. Now, a senior trip here in the States, a lot of high schools take the students on a senior trip. They might go to Washington D.C., they might go to something like Disney World. Sometimes they even go abroad. It depends on the school, and not every school does it. So since we homeschooled our kids, our children did not have that opportunity to take a senior trip, so we wanted to give them that opportunity. We had told both of our kids that they could go wherever they wanted, and we would do our best to take them. And so my son's only wish was that his father, and I, of course, me, but that his father would attend his own family reunion. That was my son's wish. And yeah, we had not been to a family reunion in probably 15 years or more. My kids go to family reunions. They either go with their grandparents or we fly them to wherever the reunion is taking place. So my kids have always, been close with that side of the family, and with all the just hundreds, literally hundreds of cousins. That's what the reunion is. It's actually my mother-in-law's first cousin's reunion. So it's all of her first cousins and then all of their kids and their kids and their kids and their... I can't even tell you how many generations there are in one room. It's crazy. Anyhow, that all being said, let's get started. So we headed out from Florida, and it took us 13 hours that day. We drove straight through, of course, with potty breaks and whatnot, but we drove straight through to Chattanooga, which is where, close to where my brother lives. And we had a wonderful visit with my brother and his family. It was very short because, we were tired. We had driven, my husband had driven 13 hours straight. So we got there around dinner time. They had made us a lovely taco dinner. My brother knows me well. And yeah, we visited with the family for a very short time, but it was lovely because we hadn't seen our nieces and nephews for quite some time, probably, oh gosh, 5 years maybe. So it was very nice to see all of them. It was, an uneventful drive, long drive. So we were very tired, headed to a hotel after dinner. And yeah, we were going to be on our way the next morning. So the next morning we went to, it was Pigeon Forge or bus. So Pigeon Forge, this is all in Tennessee. So we traveled from Chattanooga, which is a absolutely beautiful area. It's quite possibly my most favorite area aside from, where we are right now. I love it up there. Then second to Chattanooga would be Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. We as a family have traveled up there many times in the past for vacations and whatnot. And as a kid in high school, I used to travel to Gatlinburg for a Christian convention every year around Christmas time. And so we all have just very fond memories of Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. So we were excited to go. That is where the reunion was being held. So we got up that morning, we had breakfast at the hotel, and we were off. It only took us, just under 3 hours to get to Pigeon Forge. And we had rented a little cabin. It was really cute. It was called, what was it called? Oh, I can't remember. Something Apple Apple Valley. That's what it was called. Apple Valley Lodge, I think. Super duper cute cabin. Really cute cabin. So anyhow, we had gotten there early and we weren't able to check in yet. And so we decided to take our kids to the aquarium there, which again holds very fond memories for all of us. And also a place called the Mountain Mall that literally has not changed in 30 years, let me tell you. And what we were trying to do was stay away from family members, which is funny because the whole trip was a surprise. My in-laws didn't know about it. Nobody knew about it. We told nobody. We didn't put anything on social media. So there was no chance of anybody finding out that we were headed to the family reunion. And of course, during this time too, my in-laws kept, like texting and calling my my husband, their son, saying, are the kids gonna make it? Do the kids want to go? Or are they flying in? All that kind of stuff. So it was hard keeping it from everybody. And of course, trying not to lie. We did not lie. We just skirted the truth, I guess. So anyhow, so we arrived, and one of my son's wishes was that a specific cousin that was actually in our wedding, his name is Kevin, and that is my husband's cousin. And we had not seen him in 15 years or more. It had been a very long time. He has a lovely wife, and we had never met her. And a lot had gone on in his life over the last, 15 years. So anywho, that was really like my son's biggest wish, is that my husband and Kevin would meet again, and yeah. So, cause I think it was 2 years ago or last year when they had a different reunion, and it was up at Kevin's house. Kevin was so hoping that my husband would be there, and when it turned out, we couldn't go, but the kids went, he was really disappointed. So my son was like, that is my biggest wish. I want to see Kevin's face and Dad's face when they meet again after all these years. So that's what happened. And it was wonderful. It was such a big surprise. It was just so great. So anyhow, that evening we had brought up a huge cooler of fresh fish. And because, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to eat fresh fish. So we brought up a whole cooler full. And that evening, my husband made a lovely grilled fish dinner for 18 of the family members. So that was like his 4 sisters, some of their spouses, some of their kids, some of their kids' kids. So yeah, we had 18 for a fish dinner. And then later on, Kevin and his lovely family came, and so there were about 25 all together in our little Apple Valley cabin, and it was just absolutely wonderful. We met his beautiful wife, and we met 7 out of their 12 kids. That's a whole different story in and of itself, but yes, they have 12 beautiful children, and we were able to meet 7 of the newest ones. So yeah, just a beautiful time, wish granted, super duper day. Then the next day, we went to a place called Minot Park in Gatlinburg area. And yeah, there were about 100 people, family members. The park was gorgeous. It was really hot that day, though. Some of them, before we got there, did see a mama bear and her cubs in the forest. So that was cool, I'm sure, for them. So we had a cookout. We all, had fun. Visiting with family members and all that. Then my daughter went back to the reunion lodge with the family, and then we took our son to different stores that he wanted to go to. He wanted to go to like a knife store and a surplus store and all that kind of stuff. So we did that with him, and then we caught up with my husband's sister and her boyfriend at their cabin for drinks and dinner. And then that evening we spent part of the evening back at the family reunion lodge, which they stayed. We stayed in a cabin. the reunion was at the Spirit of the Smokies in Pigeon Forge. So that night they did a really cute computer generated like family feud game, but it was all about like our specific family. So it was really, really super duper cute. And my niece, my husband's niece, was the one who was in charge of all of this. So with a lot of help, from my sisters-in-law, she just really pulled off a great family reunion. I was so proud of her. And then the evening was spent playing euchre. That's just a game that the whole family enjoys. My husband and I went back to our cabin. We were just tuckered out. My husband wasn't feeling well. And so we went back to the cabin. We left the kids at the lodge. And then one of the family members drove them home, which was super nice. And then the next morning, about 50 or 60 of the family members went tubing. So my sister-in-law and her boyfriend came to the cabin and picked up the kids. And they all had a great time together. And then Big Handsome and I stayed back because we were going to get lunch together for the whole crew, for a large part of the crew. And have them to lunch at the cabin. So we decided just on a quick pizza lunch. So we went out and got enough to feed 30 people because we had about 30 people at our cabin for lunch that day, which was super nice. It's just so wonderful, seeing all the cousins together, all the little ones playing with the big ones, all the big ones watching out for the little ones, all the adults just talking and reminiscing. And it's just wonderful. It really is. And my husband's family is absolutely humongous. And so, oh my gosh, there's always something to do, someone to watch, someone to hold. It's just wonderful, just wonderful. I'm so thankful that we were able to go this year. And I really hope that in future years, we're able to go to subsequent reunions as well. So, anywho, that afternoon after lunch, we all went back to the lodge and we had family pictures done. And then we all went to the little buffet restaurant that they had there. And we had, a little banquet for the family. So that was nice. And then we went back to the meeting room for a family auction. We always do a family auction. People bring different things, different memorabilia of the family and all of that. And we do a family auction in order to help pay for the next, the next reunion coming up. And so we did that and we just had a lot of fun hanging out. We stayed quite late. We stayed until about 11. And I think again, my husband and I went back to the cabin early, and then a family member brought the kids back later on because they wanted to stay and hang out with all their cousins. So, yeah, it was really, really a great time. Then the next morning, Sunday, we were leaving to go to Nashville. So it was Nashville or bus. We were going to be gone for 2 weeks. And the very first part of it was the family reunion. So, yep, Nashville or bus. So we got to Nashville and we got there early because it's not a very long trip from Knoxville, from Pigeon Forge, so it's not very far west of where we were. So we were too early to check in, so we went ahead and headed to the Country Music Hall of Fame. We were only going to be here this night, so we knew we were doing this in the afternoon. So we went ahead and took that tour, and that was really cool. The parking alone was $30. I mean, can you imagine? I couldn't believe it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it was really cool. We'd never been there before, so it was really nice to go. And we all love country music here. My son is more on the rock and roll side of it. He's not really a fan of country music per se. He just likes music in general. But it was really nice, and we were just so tuckered out by the time we got back to the hotel because we had had such a busy weekend with the family. So we just relaxed at the hotel that evening. And then the next morning, we left on our way to Memphis. So it was another 3-hour trip, and we got to Memphis safely. We were able to check into our hotel, so that was good. We dropped all of our stuff off, and we headed down to the Gibson Guitar Factory. My son, again, he is very much into music. My son plays the guitar. He's self-taught. And so yeah, so he loves playing guitar, and he wanted to make sure to go here to the factory so that we could see how Gibson actually hand makes their guitars, which was really awesome to see. So we did that. We also went to the Rock and Soul Museum, and we headed toward Beale Street, which is just like it's a fun little street that has like, just various eclectic shops and pubs and restaurants, and there's music playing, and there is no automobile traffic. The road is actually cut off from automobile traffic. So yeah, it was really cool to go see. Sunshine was not too crazy about the urban feel of the area, okay, because this was in Midtown Memphis, and we're country folks, so yeah, we're not used to the big city. The next day, we headed to, we were off to see the King of Rock and Roll, so we went to Graceland. It was interesting. It was very interesting. I thought it would be a lot more palatial and opulent, but I guess for back at that time, in the 70s, it was, so it was just interesting to see. It took me instantly back like to the 70s and back to shag green carpeting. So, but we had a really great time. We spent most of the day there. I remember it was really hot, and this day we decided to change our plans. We were actually going to leave the next day and head to Louisiana, but we changed our plans because we didn't feel safe going to New Orleans. So sad, but true. So we ended up changing our plans and we were going to stay another day in Memphis and then head to Mobile, Alabama. And then, so the next day we were still in Memphis, and we decided to go to the Pyramid, which is a really cool Bass Pro Shop. This pyramid is actually the 10th largest pyramid in the world. And it has the tallest freestanding elevator. So it's taller than the Statue of Liberty. So you can take the elevator up to the top, and way up here, I know you probably can't see it, but way up toward the top of the pyramid is an observation deck. So Sunshine and I stayed below, and Big Handsome and Beauty Queen took the elevator up and saw the beautiful, view from up top. And I believe over here, where were we? Is Arkansas? Is that where it is? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So, super fun. It was a really cool store. They have like this really interesting, they have a hotel inside there, and it's all like the rooms look like cabin decks. It's just the coolest thing. So yeah, if you're ever in Memphis, check it out. I know a Bass Pro Shop doesn't seem exciting, but it was really a lot of fun. So then we just, we went to Sun Studios actually before we went here. We didn't actually go in. The kids just wanted to take some pictures. So then after the pyramid, we walked along the Mississippi River, which is right here in the background of the picture. Then we went back to Beale Street and had a yummy lunch at the famous Silky O'Sullivan's. We just had a really great time in Memphis. It was a lot of fun. Oh, and on our way home, we had really my daughter had really wanted to get beignets, and she was so looking forward to that if we had gone to New Orleans, but we ended up not going to New Orleans. But we did find beignets, and they enjoyed them. Then it was Mobile or Bus. Now, this one was a 6-hour trip, which was a little bit longer than we were used to the last couple of days, but it was an absolutely gorgeous road trip. I mean, just beautiful. So we headed to Alabama, and we chose Mobile, Alabama because my son had wanted to see the USS Alabama Memorial. So we did that. Lots of cornfields and soybean fields, pine trees and logging everywhere. It was just, we'd never been in this area of the country, so it was really nice. We were able to get to the hotel and check in and just relax. So that was nice. The next day we went to the USS Alabama Memorial. which my son was in his element. I mean, you were able to go onto the battleship itself and tour the entire thing, upper deck, lower deck. It was just really, really nice for him. I was so glad we were able to do it. He loved it. It was hotter than Hades there too. My gosh. And we were right on the Gulf Coast, and I would have thought, I'm used to hot weather. This was hotter than hot. So then after that, we went to another cute little street they have. What's it called? Dolphin Street. And it's just gorgeous in this area of Alabama. I'll tell you, it is so beautiful. The homes are gorgeous. My husband was just like drooling over all of the houses that needed restoration. So it was just gorgeous. So that afternoon we went, while we were at Dolphin Street, we went to a little German place and had something to eat, which was nice. Then we went to a little ice cream shop and got the kids some ice cream. Yeah, and we went back to the hotel. And then this day here was home sweet home. We were on our way home. It took us about 11 hours to get home. And it was uneventful. We were actually glad to get home. We stopped off at Crystal, which some people think is really disgusting. I mean, personally, I don't eat Crystal burgers, but it is a treat to my kids because they love Crystal, and we don't have them down here. They only start like in the upper part of Florida and then parts north. And so, yeah, we were and also, interestingly enough, after driving 11 hours, you'd think we'd be so tired. But when we got home, we were actually wide awake. So we ended up watching some more Sopranos. We didn't get to sleep until like 1:30. It was crazy. Yeah, we're probably going to pay for it the next day. So, and then this day was the last day. Oh, it was also my father-in-law's 75th birthday this day and my niece's 21st birthday. So this day here was this, yeah. Okay, so I'm almost done. This is going on way long enough, but I wanted to just finish out the month on this flip. So this page obviously is not finished. Will it ever be? I have no idea. But these were the things to do for today, for this day. I slept in. I didn't wake up till 9:45, which is crazy for me. Big Handsome went grocery shopping and meal planning. So this was a Sunday. We unpacked and put away everything. I sorted the ephemera that I had collected from the trip, which was a crazy amount. I was feeling a bit dizzy that day. I don't know why. So I took a nap. We had a Sopranos marathon in the afternoon and evening. We ended up having latkes for dinner, which are potato pancakes. And then we went early to bed. We were just wiped out. And then this page here, please see Idiotic Boo Boo, one page over. Okay, so what ended up happening was, for some reason, on this page here, I did July 31st. Why? I have no idea. I have no idea. And then I realized that July 31st was over here. So I had my dates wrong. So what I ended up doing was just cutting a little piece of graph paper and fixing the dates. I had this as actually August 1st, August 2nd. I always like to start on the left-hand side. So I had this for, yeah, this was August 1st, August 2nd, then I hadn't numbered these yet. So that's what was so funny. So I ended up just changing these. I just, fixed it and then put this on this page here. I guess nobody's perfect. Anywho, I'm sorry this took so long. I just wanted to get through the rest of the month. I hope if you're still with me now at the end of this video, I thank you so much for your time. And thank you for hanging out with me. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your week. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.